And I just had this this thought coming down the hill, and I wanted to share it with you. This realization from my fasting experience, and that is that when I did my marathon in 2000, that's the first time I made the connection that food was fuel. I know that sounds like duh. There I was, an attorney, and I was like, oh, food is fuel. Because when I was preparing for my training at the weekend, as slow as I was, and we were doing a 13-minute mile, so we were pretty slow, but we were there. As slow as I was, I needed to be prepared. There was no going out the night before, nay, not even the night before the night before. So what I realized was that by at least Thursday, I would have to start drinking more water, getting my electrolytes, and being fueled in the right way. And we, I couldn't run to start with, and we went from doing 5 miles to 10 miles being our short week. And so we would do 10 miles, then 12, 10 miles, then 14, 10 miles, then 16. You get the idea, right? And it really taught me that food was fuel. That's awesome. Coming down the hill, I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking about one of the interviews, I forget who it was, with Naomi, and I think there were several that mentioned it, where they talked about how different components burn as fuel, and that glucose burning and fat burning, that glucose has so much more byproducts, and that fat burning has is so much cleaner. And I've not really, before I haven't thought about that, but driving down the hill, I was just thinking, my body feels kind of clean. Well, not kind of, it just feels cleaner. And then just having my blood test results this morning that are showing markers just on a downward trend, I'm going, this is awesome. And the idea that what we eat, so I've been a sugar addict all my life, and for the last 5 weeks I've not eaten cookies, candies and chocolates. So yes, there has been sugar in my diet, but there hasn't been the massive amount that there was before I gave up cookies, candies and chocolates. And that my body trying to burn through those as opposed to burning through more whole foods. So just like we have a lot of fires, I'm a fire person, so I love my new moon, full moon and ritual fires. That's Zola in the back. Hi Zo! And depending what wood you put on the fire depends how it burns. So it goes to stand that whatever food we put into our body, how it burns, and then the off gases that it gives, right? So for example, you shouldn't burn eucalyptus, and it's very smoky. You can't poison oak. If you burn poison oak on the fire, it's going to make flames and it's going to keep you warm and it's going to do everything you think a fire should do, and it's also going to burn the insides of your body, and you'll get poison oak. So when we're making a fire, and indeed you may make fires too, you may make them inside your house, we want to choose something that's clean burning and that doesn't give us too much smoke and is sustainable, and also gives you a good fire, so it doesn't burn through straight away. So there are all kinds of wood that we can put on the fire that we can make a fire, right? And it looks like a fire, creates smoke, creates heat, creates flame, but then the performance of the fire very much depends on what wood we put on there in the first place. And today, for the first time, that's just hit home in my body, that not only am I eating for fuel, but that it's not just that the crap stuff is crap, it's just that it's also that it can't burn very efficiently, and then it's off-gassing, right, with the results of that. So I find that really fascinating. I just sometimes look at my body and think about all the things that are going on inside. I don't really have a clue about what most of them are, and yet they're inside of me and you and everybody. And there's this very delicate dance that's going on, just like when I found out my B12 is very, very low, and my homocysteine is a little high. Well, homocysteine is elevated quite often when B12 is not. And so there's that delicate dance. You know, it's not just that I'm B12 deficient, it's that creates a result, right? And then maybe we can make it go like this when we know what the relationship is and how to play with it, how to be in that dance with it, and how to groove with it. So that's all I'm trying to do, is groove a little better with my body, get to know it a little better, and just be able to do something my future self thanks me for. So I just had that extra thought to my live video earlier. This fasting journey, it's just quite the thing. Okay, I've got to go get my avocados. Mwah. I'd love to hear your experience. You know, do you think about your fuel and how you fuel in your body, and how clean that's going to burn after, and what residues it's going to leave? Food for thought, huh? So,